Well, thank you so much for coming today, Shelby. This is Shelby Dangerfield, the new Miss Montana, and really, really excited to have you here at our residential brokerage today and ask you a few questions about how life is changing and how you expect life to change in the future, and what parallels we can draw between what you're going through and what maybe an investor might be going through too. So, yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much for having me. This is an incredible opportunity, and I'm grateful for our business relationship that we had before this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's great to see a young professional go out there and do some other things with your life that are going to take you in so many different directions. So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. Yep, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I guess tell me a couple things, a few of the questions that I have just in general, and this is probably going to be, things that my daughter's going to be interested in, is what do you do to stay healthy? Like diet, exercise routine, how are you managing all of that and all of your professional life and all of this?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of background. So I work with the company, the Levitt Great West Group here in Montana, and that's how we originally met. And so my full-time job is commercial insurance advisor. I absolutely love what I do. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. It's my second career. I was formerly in professional musical theater. And so what I've learned in this season of time with a full-time job and now being crowned Miss Montana USA is it all comes down to time management and being disciplined and having self-control. It means not staying up past 10 because I know.
I can't stay up past 10, so it's fine.
You're already asleep. Because I
got that one.
check mark. I have to get that right amount of sleep, drinking water, making sure that I'm taking my multivitamins, and being on a very disciplined schedule allows me to manage my time. I also use the Focus app on my phone so that I get messages during certain hours of the day. And that helps me not to randomly get on social media and check all messages or post or want to post or waste time. And that's been really helpful, and it's also surrounding myself with people that want me to succeed, and they say, well, I'm really grateful. They say, how can I help you? And then they help keep me on track, right? Because as you know, iron sharpens iron. So I've surrounded myself with people that still hold me accountable to my job, still hold me accountable to my health. They say, we're not going out to eat, even though that would be more convenient. We're not going to have Chipotle or pizza, and we're going to get sleep, and that's just the end of the story. And
cool. That's fantastic. And those are, definitely I've got the sleep one dialed in, so I don't stay up past 10 just because I'm old, but the other things are such important parts, and I think that surrounding yourself with the right people is such a big component of it. And a parallel that I could draw from that for commercial real estate or for real estate in general is if you want to go do deals, you need to go be around people that are doing deals, because they're the ones that are going to say, let's go analyze some deals tonight, and that's going to be fun. And they're not going to say, hey dude, let's go play some video games or distract you with something that's not going to move you forward. So yeah,
exactly.
It's really cool.
And it is wild how just even to a few people in your life who can take you off that path very quickly to success or to achieving your goals, just because you have different alignments, and maybe you get along personality wise, but you have different goals, so you're naturally doing different activities. And so if you align yourself with the people who are doing the things that you want to do or the goals that you want to achieve,
pretty easy way to find success. You don't have to swim against the current, so to speak. So,
great way to put it.
Yeah. And I will also say, I'll also say that my first meeting Shelby, outside of just straight professional, she cold called me. I was probably coming from some deal where I was pulling weeds because I own some property, so I'm also a janitor. So she put up with me and took me to lunch on behalf of Levitt Group. And I will say that out of all the people that I've met in a setting like that, Shelby, you were just very well put together, and you had all your answers, you knew all of the questions I was probably going to ask, and there were a few questions I think that you didn't know the answers to, and you were really quick to go find those answers for me, get them back to me. and hopefully we have a long relationship and lots of commercial deals going forward. So it's going to be exciting.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's something to take away, that no matter what your age, right, is if you're going to ask to sit down with someone, be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's probably something that you're bringing from your 7 years in New York as a performer. So
You have to find a solution.
Well, and you have to be put together. You know,
Yes.
you have to also, when you go out on the stage, you got to know what you're doing.
And I think that's what set me apart too in preparation for Miss Montana. I will say I competed with, I think it turned out to be 17 other women, and what does it look like to hit the ground running on day one? How are you prepared already to be the next title holder? So as I prepare for Miss USA, how am I preparing already day one to be Miss USA? I have a mindset about Miss USA now. And I certainly think exactly being put together in the areas that you can control, right? Because you can only control what you can control, but if you do that, you set yourself up for success.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can't cram for Miss USA probably last minute.
You cannot.
Crash diet, not gonna work. So.
Right, and that's what I was working with a few coaches, and that's what they said. There's such a minimal amount of time between the time that you will be crowned, right? That was the mindset that we had in Miss USA, that you need to be prepared now to compete for Miss USA, because there just won't be enough time to do all that extra finessing that we typically have.
Yeah.
So yes.
What's the timeline for Miss USA now? So what does that look like?
Yep, so Miss USA specifically, we check in July 30th, so I'll probably travel down to the Biltmore in LA a few days early. The teams check in a few days early, and then we have appearances and a schedule that they put together that hasn't been released yet. We have preliminaries August 2nd and 3rd, I believe, if not 3rd, and then the Miss USA is crowned August 4th.
Okay.
So we're right in that timeline.
Right. Yeah. Okay, it's serious, it's legit right now.
Exactly,
Okay.
It is, it's legit. I have deadlines set of when I need to have my wardrobe ready. It's a lot of that, and then mental and physical preparation can continue up until the date that I leave.
Cool. That's fantastic, awesome.
Thank you.
And congratulations on that. That's what a big undertaking, and then it looks like you're taking it very seriously. So I think we made the right choice as Montana to send you to nationals. So I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. And I'll still bug you about insurance a little bit, but I'll give you a little leeway between August 1st and August 4th. So.
No, I love it though.
Yeah.
Bug me please.
Yeah.
And that, it really helps me sharpen my pencil and stay focused on, because even if I win at Miss USA, I have life after that, and that's always been my mindset. Life is going to go on after that. Don't. I'm super excited though. It's a piece of my life, and there are other key components going on outside of that. So, yeah.
Well, very exciting. Shelby, can you tell me a little bit about how you think this is going to, or how it has already impacted your professional life, and what you think is going to happen going forward?
It gives me a layer of credibility, because to go on and win a larger title, right, something with a little bit more than your local title, it just gives credibility. Similar to when we were having a conversation this morning, when you do a certain deal, it shows that you can get a deal done, right? It shows that you can do something on your own as well without the clout. And so getting to this point on my own has spoken to a national set of people in the pageant industry who have then given me opportunities, because I now earned the Miss Montana title. They knew me before and they were working with me, but they were happy to give me opportunities when I did win, because I won, and I also, it was in combination with their skills and their talents that they were giving me and resources, but I had to take it in too for myself and own it. And so it gives me a level of credibility, it gives me a wider platform, because I'm representing the entire state. So I'm speaking on behalf today of the entire state of what I would expect to be young women, as well as young men who I'll speak to in schools throughout the year, and speak on their behalf and encourage them in certain ways, and to be a leader as well. So you take on a greater sense of responsibility too.
Yeah, and do you see that also impacting your professional life outside of Miss Montana going forward, or have you already seen any impacts on what going to do for who you're associated with. So Levitt Group Insurance right now, which is fantastic. And they've given you the grace to go do these things, but it's also going to benefit them. Have you started to see any like even just small fruits of that?
I have, yep. So I get emails from people either outside that I was associated with networking communities or clients who were prospects who we were in the process of working together. And they email me and they're like so excited, yeah, congratulations. And so it also helps them be more accountable to me because I'm not just right, someone who reached out to them about insurance, but I'm going to be held accountable at a state level. And in a way, so are they. And also, from my understanding, I'm just going to assume this, they want to be associated with Miss Montana USA. So they're going to do good business too. They're going to be communicative. And so I have noticed that. I've gotten several emails and it's been great.
Yeah, and I think that's someone that I follow on social, Jesse Itzler, talks about building your life resume. And that's actually probably a more important and pertinent way to build a resume than actually just like, what did you do in school? I mean, those are all kind of the boring things. But if you say, yeah, I won Miss USA, I floated the Grand Canyon, I did this, I did that, people are like, well, this person's pretty dang interesting. She's had so many cool life experiences. I really want to talk to her. So they're going to you're not going to be forgotten in the crowd. And I think that's really important and something that I would encourage other people to do. These types of extracurricular activities where, man, it's going to have a major impact on the rest of your life. So it's cool.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's becoming, I learned so much in everything that I do outside of our 9 to 5, right? The people that I meet with different experiences than me, how I learned to present myself as Miss Montana USA and eventually Miss USA. It all bleeds into each other, right? And so we can have, we went and floated, the Missouri this weekend, and we could potentially have that shared experience where, as if we were being one-dimensional, or we were living in fear and not doing anything outside of our job. Yeah, I don't think it makes as interesting a person or as engaging or as personable. So I agree, it's very valuable.
Yeah, that's cool. And I guess I just want to encourage other people to do that sort of thing too. Like, that's such a powerful message to not just limit yourself to what you do between 9 and 5. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I actually was I'm still a part of a Millionaire Business Networking group here in Helena, and then the American Businesswomen Association group. And I've met all business owners, and they have encouraged me in this venture outside of what I do in insurance. And cool. I've made friends, and they have different experiences. So, I completely agree. It's great.
That's good. So, Shelby, can you tell me what brought you into the pageant world and what you liked about it, why you thought you would be a good fit for it, and kind of what your goals are in that?
Yeah, well, from the outside, I saw a lot of vanity, and being in theater, I loved the glitz and the glam and the makeup and the opportunity to be on stage. However, I also saw women in high school who were going on to compete for Miss Montana, and I respected that they were respected in their communities and in high school. And so I thought, well, I want to be like them. Okay, what are they doing? So the first time that I ever competed was for Miss Montana in the America organization, and that just totally opened my eyes to who you become when you do a pageant. It's an opportunity, and if you take advantage of that opportunity, you will be fulfilled because you become more physically fit, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of yourself mentally. You have to learn a world perspective and speak to others about that and understand why you believe what you believe, and then be able to express it. And then you have to be working with people and networking, and that is also extremely valuable. And so then I went to school in South Carolina for musical theater. We didn't have something here at the time in Montana, otherwise I would have stayed here in Montana. But I went out of state for school, and I competed down in South Carolina, where the pageant systems are a little bit more built up, a little bit more, they're just more serious from a younger age. And so then I came back to Montana, and I thought, my heart and soul is here. I'm a 5th generation Montanan. I want to represent my home state. And throughout my 20s, I had always said, if I had the opportunity again to step into that interview room, knowing what I know now, with some world experience, knowing how I know myself, some of the ups and downs in life that I've had, I would just take it by the horns and I would run with it.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And that brings up something in my head from some motivational speaker about, why, I think the question is, why do you want to become a millionaire, as an example? And it's not that the money is the main focus. It's a measure of who you have to become to be a millionaire, right? So it's the steps that are required and the amount of work that is included in that journey to become a millionaire that is really what's important. And I think it's a very similar sort of experience that you're having, where it's the journey. It's not that you're going to be crowned Miss USA. It's that all of those steps and who you're going to create, that's what's really impactful. So it's awesome.
I agree. The last week and a half has probably been one of the most impactful seasons of my life because I have been learning to time manage and learning to communicate and stay up on messages. I am the antithesis of a procrastinator right now, and I've just had to learn to be. So, I love that quote.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your younger years and what led you to Miss Montana, and kind of like who's Shelby, when she was 6 years old and starting first grade, and a little bit about your family.
Yeah, so I grew up dancing. I was really grateful to have that opportunity. My mom and dad came from nothing, honestly. My mom's from Hobson. My dad moved here when he was about 6, and they just worked so hard to provide for me and my sister and the life that we have. And so I grew up in an entrepreneur family, and I saw when my dad had a landscaping business, and he was gone in snow removal, so he was gone sometimes for Christmas Eve. He was gone for Christmas morning. When there was snow, my dad was gone. And so, but it wasn't because he liked work more. He knew that he was providing for us, and my mom was a working mom as well. And she started as a receptionist at her company, and she's now the CFO. So she is a shining light for me as well, a woman role model.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I just saw the hard work that went into life, and I think it helped me develop a sense of humility about what it really takes to go out into life and succeed. So I danced throughout high school, and I decided that I wanted to pursue a career in musical theater. I have a passion for the stage and for singing. And when I found out that I could study that in school, I was thrilled, and I was so excited. And so I had some experiences in high school that were a little bit, they caused some refining, through friendships and just different groups of experiences. There's so much drama we know as in high school. It is what it is, but it did give me an opportunity to say, this is the life that I want for myself, to stay on the straight and narrow, and I want to be successful. I don't want to waste my time. And I'm really grateful that some of those bad experiences did happen, because it led me to say, this is the success that I want to be. And so I went to college, and I just continued to fall in love with performing and performing arts, and I just knew that that was what I was going to do, and there was just no question. And the only place really to pursue professional musical theater really and start a career is in New York. So I was grateful. I had my mom, again, they worked so hard to provide us opportunities to go to New York throughout my youth, and so I was familiar a little bit with the city. I loved the hustle, I loved the grind. I loved that it took me to another level of organizing my life and being polished, because there's so much going on there that it's easy to get lost and then get distracted. And so I took it as an opportunity. The reason that I'm here is to pursue a professional musical theater career, and that's when I was given the opportunity to work for Disney Cruise Lines, and I took 2 contracts with them. And that was another opportunity where it was really about the process of becoming who I am, instead of, in addition to, maybe it's a better way to put it, the performance aspect, because I had to show up on time. I had to show up memorized. They expected me, very militant, and it was really something that I carry with me, and to this day, the training that I had.
Yeah, well, it's probably definitely helped in your success now, because it is militant, They're Disney. They're not some second-rate deal. So
Right.
yeah, it's awesome.
And I think that's something too to encourage people who are taking on younger people either in their business or in a community, or you're mentoring someone, giving someone the opportunity to step up to the plate, even if they don't have the skills and tools now because they're young. You'll find out, right? If someone is willing to say, you know, someone believed in me, so I stepped up to the plate and became the person that they expected.
Yeah.
And if we don't ever have someone in our life who does that for us, I think it's a detriment.
Yeah. Well, you close off your mindset, and you don't have that. I see it all the time in real estate. I see it all the time. People think, wow, I couldn't be that person that owns a business or that owns real estate. Everybody can. It's all upstairs. I mean, it's all, someone needs to believe in you, and that the first person is yourself. And then you can put the pieces together, and yeah, you're going to fall short sometimes, but you get back up and you do it again, and you keep learning and growing, and pretty soon, you know, you just have a national crown in under your belt. So
Yep, so funny actually, and I believe I was listening this morning to a little recording that I have that's labeled positive self-talk, and that's exactly what it is. And I listen to it every morning. I do that in conjunction with my faith in God. I will say though, when I look in the mirror and say positive things about myself, I remember it throughout the day, because one quote that I love too that's in line with this concept is, we talk to ourselves the most throughout the day. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or they'll never believe in me, shoot, no one's asking you to tell yourself that. So I encourage people, just along with you said, right, change your mindset and you can change the world.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I like doing business with you and hanging out.
Yeah, I know, it's good. It's good, because there's so much opportunity out there, and once you understand that you are probably your biggest limiting factor, there's no more walls, there's no more boundaries. It's just the time constraints, and sometimes capital constraints, but generally it's time. So that's really awesome. Well, Shelby, I just want to say thank you so much for coming down and spending some time with me and letting us know a little bit about what it's like to be Miss Montana, and then pretty soon you're going to have to come back and do another interview when you win Miss USA. So I like this. We can just keep doing a series, and you know, as you continue to win, we'll just keep doing interviews. It'll be fantastic.
I can't wait. Thank you for the opportunity, Tyler. It's really a privilege to be connected with yourself and business people like you in the community. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.